Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Let's finish up our series on Dark Souls weapons today. I'm talking now about my top best weapons in the game. This ranking is being done after I spent a lot of time using all the weapons in the game, and I'll list here the ones I think are the best, in my opinion. In 10th place, I'll put the Gold Tracer. It's one of my favorite weapons in the game, but I couldn't find a higher spot for it because there are so many good weapons. Some even got left out, so it'll open the ranking here. It's a weapon completely focused on dexterity, with an ace scaling. Its main point is its speed. It can hit at an absurd rate, almost like a dagger, and that's where its ability to stun enemies comes in. When you start hitting with it, they'll easily lose their balance and get stuck in the combo, unable to escape. Many hits will kill most enemies. That's because it also has a bleed effect of 300, which means when the enemy's bleed bar fills, they lose 30% of their HP. And since it's extremely fast and this combo will trap most of them in it, that's why I said it will end up defeating them. Even in PvP it melts HP. It's certainly one of the best weapons in the game because of this combination of bleed, speed, and poise damage. The next on the list is the good old Claymore. I put it here because it works well in some builds like strength and dexterity, or when you level both attributes at the same time, the famous quality build. And also because it's a weapon we can easily get at the start of the game, which can carry us to the end with ease. I bet if From Software had a survey on the most used weapons in this game, this would be in the top 5. Because it's a weapon any player can use well, it's not complicated, and besides damage, also, because it's a greatsword, it causes poise damage to the enemy too. Two-handed, for example, one hit is capable of canceling the attack of most smaller enemies, allowing you to attack more times. Our next on the list is the Zweihander, a weapon that starts off good for strength, and as you progress, it becomes worth investing some points in dexterity too. It has the same damage as the greatsword, the famous guts one. If an enemy gets hit by it, they'll get stunned easily too. In this case, because of its size, it will easily break the guard of even bosses. Another strong point is that it's found right in the cemetery at the very beginning of the game, making it easy for anyone to get. Now comes the Moonlight Greatsword, the definitive weapon for mages. This sword is completely geared towards intelligence, to the point it only deals magic damage. So if you are a mage, the Moonlight Greatsword is certainly the best option, not only because of its S scaling and magic damage, but also because it's a greatsword, which in my opinion is the best weapon type in the game. So everything I said about the Claymore applies here too, with the change being it's for intelligence builds. Not to mention it also has the ability to cast a magic projectile, which can help you when your spells run out. In 6th place, closing out the top 5, I'll put the Large Club. But for facing bosses and regular enemies, I'll put it in 5th place. But it's far from bad. It's the weapon with the highest critical damage in the game, and also the weapon with the second highest base damage in the game. So if you want to know what the most powerful weapon in Dark Souls is, combining these two things, it's this one. Remember I said most powerful, mentioning raw power, and not the best, which includes utility among other things. It's a weapon for strength, for making that pure bonk build. The queen of pure strength, right? And opening the top 5, I'll put the Gravelord sword, the famous Nito sword. It's a weapon that isn't worth it for scaling with any attribute, since its scalings are terrible. The increase is minimal, so any build that has enough strength and dexterity to wield it can have fun with it. And why is it good? Because if we go down to the catacombs, we can get it right at the beginning. It's one of the most recommended weapons for beginners who want to use a powerful option early. I never used it at the very start myself. I prefer to get others that are also good, but I know it's a destroyer. One of its advantages is the huge amount of poise damage it deals. So a single hit is capable of staggering most smaller enemies. And it has an extra effect, Toxic, which when it procs, takes a huge chunk of the enemy's HP. It's better than regular poison, and only 2 weapons in the game have this effect. It's a weapon I recommend for the first playthrough until you get strong and swap it for something with scaling for your build. It's really good. And let me also give a mention to the Drake Sword. Far from being a powerful weapon overall, but for the first and second areas of the game, it's very useful. It's not worth upgrading it as it uses Dragon Scales, a rare item. But it's worth using for the beginning with ease. as it is very strong there. And now it's not the next one, but the next ones. That's because I'm going to put 3 katanas in this position. Since there are only 10 weapon slots, it would be a sin to only put 1 katana, or to put all 3 and leave out some of the other weapons mentioned. So I highly recommend the Chaos Blade, the Iaito, and finally the Uchigatana. This last one is good, especially for those who want to use a katana right from the start or want a dexterity build with a very interesting weapon already. Of course, you have to kill the merchant to get it. Your call. For me, it's worth it. Just buy what he has that's useful and go with it. Because katanas are powerful, fast, and also cause bleed, the Chaos Blade you can make with Quelag's Soul. You can even use the Uchigatana as the material. That's what I usually do when I create a dexterity build. I start with the Uchigatana, go with it all the way to Anor Londo, get it to +10, and then transform it into the Chaos Blade. The Iaito we can just find, and it's very good too. It rivals the Chaos Blade, and choosing between the two is up to personal preference. They are quite equivalent. I prefer the Chaos Blade because it also scales with humanity. So the more humanity you have in that counter up there, going to a maximum of 10, the stronger this weapon becomes. And that makes it easier to have it be powerful. Of course, if you lose the humanity, it weakens. Unlike the Iaito, which scales only with dexterity and will always have the same damage. So it's each player's choice, but I recommend any of the 3. And opening the top 3, we again have 2 weapons. I put them together because they are siblings. I'm talking about the Black Knight Sword and the Black Knight Halberd. I think most people already know these weapons. And when I say most, I'm including those who started playing recently. They are weapons that break the game early on, the kind where the game is one thing before getting them and another after. Remember I talked about the Gravlord Sword, that I prefer others? Well, these are the others. The difference is you need luck to get them, since the enemy that drops them only appears once, and he might not drop it. But if you're lucky enough to get these weapons, it's totally worth it. They are weapons that can carry you until the end of the game, and even into more advanced playthroughs, and easily. Many people consider the Black Knight Halberd the best weapon in the game. I think there are better ones, and one of them is the other halberd, the Gargoyle Halberd. Many people don't look at this weapon when playing for the first time. That was my case. But when you discover it's good, you rarely let it go. It's very similar to the Black Knight Halberd. However, it has lower stat requirements, and it can also be infused, fitting into more builds. You can put, for example, magic on it, and it works for a mage too. But the best thing is to leave this weapon as is, and use it in the build that fits it best, which is using strength and dexterity, since it scales D/D. Not the best scaling, but still useful. So if you buff it with a resin, like gold pine resin, which adds lightning damage, it starts destroying everything. And it can carry you to NG+, the highest in this game, with ease. Especially since in subsequent playthroughs, you have more points to level up. So you can raise Faith and cast Sunlight Blade or Dark Moon Blade on it. And then it will really destroy. In this state, with these 2 miracles, it becomes a devastating weapon. One of the best in the game. But in first place, I put the one that for me is the best, but also my favorite, the Greatsword of Artorias. The normal one. As I said before, great swords are the best for me. So everything I said about the others applies here too, with several additions actually. One of them is the damage. It's much more powerful than the others, being the most powerful greatsword. Then there's also the fact that it has a divine modifier, killing the skeletons in the catacombs permanently without the need to kill the necromancers, and also without the need to switch weapons. It's a lifesaver. You can use it against any enemy in the game. And finally, because it belongs to Artorias, the symbol of the game, he's even on the cover of the Prepare to Die edition. The only downside is that it requires intelligence and faith as well. That is, it's a sword that requires many attributes to wield, so it's not for everyone. The Gargoyle Halberd is better in that sense. I recommend this one for NG+, where we'll have plenty of points to level up all those attributes. So it's a difficult weapon to obtain, but when we do get it, it becomes, for me, the best weapon in Dark Souls. And for you, what is it? Leave it there in the comments. And if you like the video, like and share. And until the next video. Bye.